In this video, I'm going to teach you 3 ways to overcome creative blocks when you are working as a creative entrepreneur. The first way to overcome a creative block is to shift your perspective from the future or the past to the now and become fully present. Oftentimes when we're creative entrepreneurs, we deal with a lot of shoulding. And by shoulding, I mean imposter syndrome. We're either worried about the future, I should be this way, I should be more of this, I should be less of this, or the past. I shouldn't have done it this way, I shouldn't have done it that way. We're kicking our own butts for something that's already happened in the past. There can be a great amount of information that can come from being reflective about what has already happened and thinking about or planning for the future about what you want to happen. However, when we get distracted and chase the rabbit down the rabbit hole with shoulds, so shoulding into the future, shoulding on ourselves in the past, we remove our power, and our power is creativity, and that is happening now. We are creative right now. We aren't creative in the future. We might plan to be creative in the future. We aren't creative in the past. It already happened. That ship has sailed. We can only create right now. And so in order to create the removal of obstacles and roadblocks, or like I'd like to call them creative roadblocks, we have to bring our mind to the present. And there's a few really easy and basic ways to do this. One of them involves a mindfulness practice called breath watching. The breath watching exercise allows you to just simply do that. You are just sitting. You could be sitting in a chair. You can be sitting on a cushion on the floor. You could be laying down. But you're in a comfortable seated position with your spine is fairly straight. Your eyes are gently closed, and you're dropping in. You are dropping your attention inward and focusing on your breath, your natural breath, your own uncontrolled breath. And by doing that, you are shifting your perspective, you're shifting your attention from something that should be happening in the future or should have happened in the past to what's happening right now. Okay, so practicing that presence of breath, which is such a beautiful, gentle mindfulness practice. It's something you can do in literally 1 minute, seated in your chair or anywhere where you can grab some ground, literally and figuratively, to become more present with your attention. Something else that I like to lead in mindfulness exercises is simply just being mindful of the ground under your feet. So if you just bring your attention to your feet, what does it feel like to have the ground support the bottom of your feet? What does that feel like under your toes? What does it feel like to have your feet flat on the ground, being fully supported? So you're just really bringing your attention to what's happening with your feet on the ground. It's a very simple exercise in just a matter of moments by asking yourself these types of open-ended questions. What does it feel like to have the bottoms of my feet supported by the ground? And just pay attention to that. There is no judgment. It's just paying attention to what is. Presence, right? So again, shifting your attention from what should be or what shouldn't be or what should have been or what shouldn't have been to what is. Something else that you can do is to journal and do what I like to call a brain dump. So if your mind is very busy with the future or the past, get out a piece of paper. I personally love GoodNotes, which is a digital planner and application that I love to use on my iPad. And no, this video is not sponsored by GoodNotes. I just love GoodNotes. But whether it's a digital device that you're taking notes on or real pen and paper, get out that piece of paper, get out that device, and just set a timer for 5 minutes and do a brain dump of everything that is in your mind until it's all out. No one's going to see it. This is private just for you. And what it does is it allows you to honor your thoughts, whatever they are. No judgment, shoulds, shouldn'ts, celebration, sadness, anger, whatever the thoughts are attached to, whatever emotions you're feeling, it's all okay. Just get it out of your head and onto paper. This will allow you to embrace the busyness of your mind until it starts to slow down. And you will notice when it starts to slow down, when you start to see that you have less and less to write about. Things are not pouring out of your brain as quickly. There's a slowing down, right? And you're bringing your mind now to just what is present. The second thing you can do as a creative entrepreneur to overcome creative roadblocks is to cultivate a non-attachment to outcomes. A big thing that I teach is focus on output versus outcome. What does this mean? That means that you are focusing your attention and your wins on output of energy and effort and creativity versus the outcome or the result. So it is really, really important for the purposes of shifting our perspective and overcoming creative roadblocks to cultivate this sense of non-attachment to the outcome. Because a lot of time we put it out there and we don't see the result right away, or we don't see the expected result or the result that we're hoping for. That's okay, and there's great information in that, but I want to bring your attention back to output. So when we focus on output, that actually helps us overcome this feeling of perfectionism. And a lot of us creativepreneurs, we live in this headspace often of perfectionism, which is simply unattainable. There is never a bar that we reach or pass of perfection because perfection doesn't exist. So if we just help ourselves focus on output, define what success looks like for output. In other words, today, success for me looks like creating and editing 4 YouTube videos. That is how I'm defining success for myself today. What happens once I upload those videos and I put them out into the world, that's outcome, and I can't worry about that right now. My focus is just on creating better and better content. Every time I create a new piece of content, I want to get a little bit better. I am a work in progress. This is a learning and an experiment for me. And by taking this approach, I am open to becoming better. If I was perfect, there would be no better. Boring, I wouldn't learn anything. There would be no opportunity for growth. And I love to grow and learn. Yes, it can be a little scary sometimes, but really bringing our attention to cultivating non-attachment outcomes, meaning it means just focusing on the output and celebrating the wins, okay? So realistic and attainable output, effort, creativity. This is what I want to focus on because this is what I have control over. Okay, so the third way to overcome creative roadblocks is to use mindful observation to shift towards inspiration. I'll say that again. Use mindful observation to shift towards inspiration. How do we do this? Well, we start to notice when we start feeling like we are hammering a square peg into a round hole, when we are pushing a huge boulder up the hill and it feels so hard and forced rather than easy, effortless, and inspired, fun, right? It feels misaligned, like what we are doing doesn't feel good in our bodies or out in the world. So being mindfully observant of this is noticing how we're feeling in our bodies. It's also noticing, what's going on around us. If the energy is feeling low vibration, this can generally pull us down. And so this takes a little bit of mindful self-awareness along with some boundary setting. Sometimes you need to physically remove yourself from a situation that is low vibration in order to find inspiration. However, I can say in some instances that low vibration activity has inspired me to move to higher vibration activity. The inspiration is now. It's happening now. It's happening within us and around us. And we have to tap into it by paying attention. So this is a really great way to practice that. I invite you to draw, journal, use a voice memo, talk it out, right? There's lots of ways to get what's in here and in here out and into tangible reality to help yourself understand and inspire. I hope this has been helpful. Let me know in the comments below what you think and how I might better support you to overcome some of your creative roadblocks moving forward. And don't forget to sign up for our free every Wednesday Mindful Work, Mindful Life practice sessions. I look forward to practicing with you. I will link the sessions and the Zoom link down below. As always, if you have any questions about creative-based work or compassion-based work, message me. I'm here for you. Compassion rocks, everyone. Keep on keeping on, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.